All right, let's move into the Opium Wars. The Opium Wars are going to be happening within Great Britain and China. The problem here is Great Britain is lacking money. Okay, they do not have money coming in from their overseas colonies. This is a problem. They need to find a way of making money. So they have control of Hong Kong area in China. However, they're working with the Chinese as well. China is important to understand at this time period has been self-isolated for a very long period of time, meaning they're not really involved with what's going on in the rest of the world. They just want to view and deal with issues going on in China. Foreigners are viewed as destabilizing. We don't want foreigners in here. They're just going to make life in China more challenging. We don't need that. The British are going to think different. Additionally, it's important to understand at this time, Britain, their economy was 10% based upon tea. So they are drinking a ton of tea. They need this revenue for tea coming in. If they don't have this, there is going to be a problem. So they're trying to figure out a way of getting this to sell to the Chinese. The Chinese simply don't want it. So now they need to find a way of making this profit back that they can use to make up for their loss, because the tea prices are down at this time period. So they need to find a solution. They need to find something the Chinese would want that's going to offset that lack of profit they're getting from the tea industry at this time period. So what is the solution? Well, here's the solution the British are going to come up with. Number one, they're going to grow poppies. They realize that in this area in China, you can grow a number of different crops here, but one thing that grows very, very well in this region is poppies. Now, poppies or flowers, you can convert the poppies into opium. Now, opium is a hardcore drug, but they're going to be converting this into, or these poppies that grow very easily here, into opium. They're going to trade this with the Chinese for tea. So they're going to give the Chinese these opium plants, and the Chinese would give back tea, because tea is also very prevalent in China. Then the British are going to make bank. They are going to be just ringing in the bills, bringing in the Benjamins right here as a result of this. However, there's one little problem, which is opium is illegal in China. So basically, the British want to create a hardcore drug, sell this with to the Chinese, and then get the money that the Chinese are going to be using for buying this. Now, the important thing that's going to happen right through here is they're going to do this anyways. They're just going to start sending opium into China without regulation, meaning as much opium as the British are producing, the Chinese are just buying it, okay? The government's not really able to stop them. The Chinese government is really not enjoying this at all. Then in 1839, the Chinese government's going to crack down. They're going to basically say, surrender all opium or else this is going to be bad. The British don't listen at all. So what do the Chinese do? The Chinese break onto the merchant ships and steal all of this British opium and then go and burn it. They destroy it. Now, the British merchants are very, very angry because their entire supply of opium, which they're using to make a ton of money off of, has just been stolen by the Chinese. The British government really isn't wanting to do much at this time period, and these merchants are not happy. They're really angry with what is going on. So, what is going to keep going, they're going to kind of fight back. The Chinese, again, as a way of retaliation, are going to cut off the British food supply, not allowing any ships in to bring food. Now, it's important to understand, you need food to live. If you don't have food, you die. So the British are going to have this little island of Hong Kong where they're kind of living at here. It's still controlled by the Chinese, though. Important to understand that. They're going to take a supply over to mainland China, a ship, to quickly go and try to grab some food. On the way back, the British are going to come in, or the Chinese are going to come in, and they're going to attack that British food ship. This is going to lead to a skirmish, and it's going to really be the start of the Opium Wars. Wars are going to break out. People are going to start fighting, people are going to be killing, and bad things are going to be happening. It's going to continue on for a number of years. Okay, the Chinese government is going to go into these opium dens. The opium dens look like what you see right here, where these guys go in and just basically smoke opium, go use hardcore drugs, kind of get out of it because they're under the influence of hardcore drugs. This is going to be continuing on for years. The British are thinking, we just get them addicted to these drugs, they're going to keep buying them, we're getting the profit, we get our tea. The Chinese are thinking, you're getting our people addicted to hardcore drugs for your own gain. This is problematic. Now, the results of the Opium Wars. Number one is the British are going to get Hong Kong. They're going to control the city of Hong Kong for roughly about 100 years, like 98, 99, right around that time period, was when the city of Hong Kong went back to Chinese control. Even today, it's important to realize, is the city of Hong Kong Although it is part of China, technically, it does have different rights and regulations than the rest of mainland China. Difference with internet censorship, a little bit different version of it going on over in China. A number of different things happen, or in Hong Kong versus in China. Economically speaking, they have a lot of advanced success. They were faster to advance than the rest of China, primarily due to the communist versus capitalist split going on there. Opium is going to become legal in China at this time as a result of the war, meaning the British can keep on selling opium and making a lot of money off of it. Additionally, there's going to be a number of ports opening up around China, which a lot of other countries now are going to come in and decide, hey, we want a part of this. This is a good region we want to be able to control. So this is going to be happening. Okay, we're going to have the Germans come in. We're going to have the French, the Spanish. We're going to be controlling some of this region. We're going to have the English coming in as well, the Japanese, and China is pretty much sitting here in a ton of humiliation. Okay, this is the start of a century of humiliation for the Chinese, going from roughly about 1840 up until about 1945 after the end of World War II. So that is the Opium Wars for you. Any questions, please comment down below. Otherwise, good luck.